Hey guys, Joey from Big Shark Gaming. Today we are going to be doing a third edition of Who's That Pokemon on Pokemon Corner. So, if you haven't watched the previous two episodes of Pokemon Corner, and this is the last time I'll disclaim it, what Pokemon Corner is, it's my weekly rundown of Pokemon that I want to choose to battle with and give you guys battle strategies for. Most of these are going to be 7th gen to start, and then we're going to be getting into other Pokemon. This time is going to actually be a special edition, however, because this Pokemon has not officially been revealed or released in the games. Following Lunala and Solgaleo, it just felt right to go into Marshadow, who is believed to be the third box art legendary for the Sun and Moon saga. Marshadow has actually been revealed on various websites, so we know it's actually coming as Pokemon 802, and it actually makes sense considering that the Alola Dex goes up to 802, but we've only been shown up to 801, which is Majerna. So we have Marshadow. And Marshadow kind of looks a little bit like Esper, in my opinion. But Marshadow is a fighting and ghost type Pokemon with the ability Technician. So what Technician does is if your Pokemon has a base power attack with a 60 or below, it will be multiplied 1.5. This is kind of like an additional stab to every move. Not the way that Protein works, because it's only for moves that have 60 below, 60 or less base. But also, if they are a move of your type, you do get an additional stab. So it's actually 2.5 times, which is kind of like almost on the sheer force life orb level, but not quite. So let's look at Marshadow's stats. For HP, he has 90, for attack 125, for defense 80, special attack 90, special defense 90, and speed is 125. So pretty nice attack pool, as well as defenses, 90, 80, 90 defenses, and 125, 90, 125 speed. He's actually the only of the trio legendaries who break 100 speed, let alone 125, as Lunala and Solgaleo both have 97 base. So he doesn't actually have the problem of falling under that 100 tier, and he's actually considered what is fast. Reaching with a beneficial nature, he reaches 383 speed, so that's pretty great. 383 attack, likewise, so he's more of a regular attacker, physical attacker, and he actually has the speed to back it up. With decent special attack at 90, he could actually be a mixed attacker or a special attacker. The only problem with special attacking is that he literally only has 4 special moves. Fortunately enough for Marshadow, he has 2 special moves that are both stab in Focus Blast, which is 180 after stab, and Shadow Ball in which I believe is 120 after stab. So Focus Blast is a lot harder hitting, but it also comes with the 70 accuracy, both of which can lower your special defense for your opponent. But the 4 special moves you have, if you want to run a set using special Marshadow, and you really don't have many options, you have Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Hidden Power, and Shadow Ball. If you do choose to run a special set on Marshadow, you would have to use all 4 of those moves, but I recommend going with Hidden Power Ice, which is actually 0 attack IVs, which works out pretty well. And that gives you the most coverage you could have. It's 11 out of 18 types covered with just those 4 moves. Unfortunately, you do have the lackluster Focus Blast, which is a great damaging move, just not so great on your accuracy. So, notable moves that Marshadow learns that are affected by Technician are Acrobatics, which is 55 base, goes up to 110 if you don't have an item. Then you have Pursuit, which is 40 base, Shadow Punch, which is 60, Shadow Sneak, which is 40, Assurance, which is 60, Feint 30, Force Palm, which I believe is 60 as well. Payback is 55, Rolling Kick is 60, and Thief, which is 60. All these moves are usable with Technician, and with Technician they all go up to 1.5. And then you have Shadow Punch, Shadow Sneak, which gets stabbed, Force Pump, which gets stabbed, and Rolling Kick, which gets stabbed. So those are all nice moves. And the first set we're actually going to look at for Marshadow is actually an all-stab Technician Power Flunging set, which uses all of its stab moves. For this set, I would give it a black belt and maximize its attack and speed. Again, that goes with 383 if you're using a beneficial nature, or 359 if you're not. I would actually go Adamant on this set as opposed to something like Jolly, because you're going to be pretty fast at 359. You don't really need that additional boost. Or if you want to go Jolly, you could go for the extra speed. Black Belt's going to multiply your fighting moves up by 1.2, because you're mainly going to be focusing on your fighting moves on this set. You're actually getting Shadow Punch, which is 135 after Technician. Shadow Sneak with priority brings it up to 90 after Technician and Stab. And then you have your two moves that you're going to be relying on a lot. Force Palm is 135 after Technician and Stab, and has a 30% chance to paralyze. So the idea is you want to get your opponent paralyzed. And then you're going to use Rolling Kick, which Rolling Kick kind of has shoddy accuracy, but it does have 135 after Stab and Technician, and a 30% chance to flinch. So you're running Para Flinching with your Black Belt, which is going to multiply it by 1.2 more times, so it actually gives you around 157 actual damage. And if you need the extra priority because you feel slower, you have Shadow Sneak, and you also have Shadow Punch for things that want to come in and try to resist your fighting moves. But Power Flinching is always something that I love to do. It's really annoying, and it's really funny to do to get people angry. So that's one set. You actually have two sets so far. You have a special attacking set, and you have your all stab, technician, power flinching stab. So notable physical moves that you do have if you're not running a technician set are Brick Break, Close Combat, Drain Punch, Facade, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Poison Jab, Jump Kick, Return, Rock Slide, Spectral Thief, which is its signature attack, Stone Edge, Sucker Punch, and Thunder Punch. So if you're going to actually run, you could actually run a pretty fun set that I call Band Punches, which is max attack, max speed, and then you're running a Jolly Nature and a Choice Band. Or you could run Adamant Nature and a Choice Scarf, depending on which way you want to go. Or you could even run Adamant and Band, or you could run Scarf and Jolly. So you're going to have Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Shadow Punch, and Ice Punch. I didn't include Fire Punch in there because Thunder Punch and Ice Punch create like the Bolt Beam neutral effect. Drain Punch is for healing as well as stab. And Shadow Punch for the same reasons as you would do it on the Technician set. It actually goes up to 135 after Tech. And that's actually a pretty hard-hitting move from Marshadow. So then I have one last set for you guys, which I call Hanging Out. Actually, I have two more sets for you guys. So we have one called Hanging Out with Hoopa, which, as you guys know, Hoopa was in prison. So I call this one Hanging Out with Hoopa because you're going to be using the move Spectral Thief. Spectral Thief, not Thief. So again, this is going to be a standard max attack, max speed. You're running a Life Orb on this one just for the additional damage. So then with Spectral Thief, what that does is before you attack, it steals your opponent's boosts. So if they have defense boost, if they got something else, you could steal that before you attack. You come in on an Aura Choreo that has been stealing Sword Dance or Quiver Dances, you steal those boosts. And you can use them against your opponent. Hopefully you get an attack from something like Z-Splashing Solgaleo that Jay uses. And Special Thief is going to hit really hard. It actually has 100 base power, which goes up to 150 after stab. And then you have Close Combat, which is just going to be a stab fighting move that goes up to 180 physical side. And you got Poison Jab for fairies, which are going to love to come in on Marshadow. And then you got Stone Edge for coverage. Again, you have a lot of physical attack moves that you could add into there. Unfortunately, you can't Edge Quake, but you do have a lot of options. If you want to use Drain Punch over Close Combat, you could do that, or even Brick Break. You have Jump Kick. Unfortunately, no High Jump Kick. And you could also run Rock Slide over Stone Edge if you want to have the more careful approach. So finally, one weird-ass set that I'll throw in here is Max HP and Max Defense with a leftovers. You're going to be using Bulk Up, Shadow Punch, Will-O-Wisp, and this move called Laser Focus. What Laser Focus does is it guarantees your next attack is going to be a critical hit. So you want to get some bulk going. With Bulk Up, you get attack and defense. You use Will-O-Wisp if you have a physical attacker coming in there or a wall you just want to whittle down. You do have access to Toxic as well if you want to sub-Toxic out for Will-O-Wisp. You do have access to Substitute as well. I actually didn't run down the special moves that Marshadow gets, so let's do that real quick. You actually get Bulk Up, Calm Mind, Substitute, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Laser Focus, Roleplay, and Work Up. So if you actually don't like using the Technician ability and you want to steal somebody else's ability, you can do Roleplay, and you can just copy their ability if you want to copy something like Huge Power, or Full Metal Body, or Shadow Shield, or Multi-Scale, or Mold Breaker, or Hyper Cutter, whatever you want to copy, Aerolate, Refrigerate. You could do that. Skill Link, even though you don't really have any moves to take advantage of Skill Link, which is unfortunate. If you don't like Technician and you feel like you want to use heavier hidden moves, you could just run Roleplay. But yeah, the weird set that I have is Bulk Up to raise your attack and defense, Laser Focus to make sure your next attack is a critical hit, which powers up your Shadow Punch, and Will-O-Wisp to stop physical attackers that want to come in on you, or walls. Um, so Marshadow actually poses as a very good sweeper. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the greatest bulk in the world that's fixed through things like Calm Mind and Bulk Up. You could actually boost both your defenses. It doesn't have Cosmic Power, which kind of sucks because if it did, then you would have access to a straight defense raising move. It doesn't have Stockpile either, which would have been nice because you could run Stockpile and Z Stockpile. But I actually don't recommend running any Z moves on Marshadow until we know more of like Special Thief and like the Z move for Special Thief. But Special Thief itself is a really great move, and I believe you should use it. It's unfortunate that it's not affected by Technician. They should have given it 60 base. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't always happen. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you want to see another Pokemon covered, you can comment down below what Pokemon you want to be covered. It doesn't have to be a 7th gen, although my next Pokemon will also be 7th gen. And then maybe I'll get back into other generation Pokemon, because there is one Pokemon that I want to cover who had got a lot of enhancements this generation, I feel anyway. And I want to show off some of its new battle strategies. Have you been liking these Pokemon Corner episodes? If so, make sure you clickety-clack that like button, subscribe, and check back next Wednesday for another edition of Pokemon Corner. Thank you guys for watching. Stay sharky, my friends, and fin up.